Hey guys, in this video I'm going to just do a really quick overview of my witch's build and what I plan on doing with her. Again, this is my Incinerate Witch. Here's just a really quick tour of my hideout. They added these hideouts with the Forsaken Mastery so you can have your own little map devices. Actually, let's just go over that real quick. Alright, so you can have you start off with only being able to have 2 masters in a base, and then once you hit level 5 with whoever the master is of the base, so like Varici here is the guy who gives me this hideout. So once you hit level 5 with him, and because at first you start off and there's barriers on the top of these steps, so you only have this little square down here. Once you hit level 5, you unlock this portion up here. And at that point, you're allowed to bring a 3rd master into your base. Now, each master has dailies.
You want something?
And then they each sell decorations. They each sell different items based off of what they are. So this guy sells like kind of like melee stuff. Like single-handed crit stuff, like kind of like a rogue or like a shadow type build or something. This is Zana. She is the map person, so she's right.
God bless you, Exile.
Elrion, and you know he sells kind of like the caster type stuff. Alright, so each master, after you get them to level 2, if you invite them to your hideout, they give you an item, and that item is different things. So like, let's say for now, I don't know exactly whose is whose, but I know this comes from Tora, the Huntress. So basically, you can apply movement speed to boots for 4 alchemy orbs. Then you can apply life to belts and quivers, right? So this is all like belts and bows and quivers and stuff like that. Looks like wands as well, right? So, and as you level up, you get more different little recipes that you can apply to them. And then of course, you know how like in this game you have prefix mods and suffix mods and stuff like that. So you can add those to your item based off of how many you have, because each item's only allowed X amount of whatever, right? So this comes from Haku, and this is just, make sure I clicked on the right thing. Haku, and this is he's the armor smith. So you get all of these mods that you can add. You know, this is mainly gloves, boots, body armor, helmets, and shields. Just different little things. This comes from Katarina. This is all like your caster stuff. So, it's going to be applied to caster gear. Mostly weapons. Some of this stuff can go to everything. So. Alright, this right here, I think this is Varici. So this is stuff, the physical based stuff for weapons. This right here comes from Elrion. This is the amulets, rings, and I think that's it. And then we have this. This comes from not Varici, Fagan, I think his name is. But anyways, you can add 2 sockets to gear. You can add 3 sockets, 4 sockets, or 5 sockets. Each one costs, a little bit of different thing. This is guaranteed. You know how like it's very random to get a 5 link or 6 link or whatever, because every time you use a jeweler's orb or what are these called? Orb of fusing, it has a random chance of rolling whatever the hell numbers. So this gives you a guaranteed way of getting there. Now it gets quite expensive. So in order to get 5 sockets in the first place, you have to spend 70 jeweler's orbs. And then if you want to link them all, it costs 150 fusings. And then say you wanted to get certain, you know, at least a green and a blue, it's going to cost you 15 chromatics. But if you wanted at least 2 blue, then it's 25. So yeah, it gets a little crazy. All right, so there's enough of that. Let's go over my build really fast because that's what this was intended. So my first point I ever get goes into this. It helps with the leveling. You get the mana regen. It's great. And you get the plus 14 to maximum energy shield. Um, then my build is basically bam, bam, bam. Pick up all these spell damage nodes. The first thing I do is I come up here. I'll pick the life. Come back down, pick up this. Then I went up here and picked up this fire. This half the fire wheel. The next thing I did is I come over here. Pick these up based off of what I need. You're probably going to need to pick up this dex node pretty early if you want to start running. If you have LMP or lesser multiple projectiles, I think you can start at a level 19. If you want to start running it at level 19, you're going to have this agility node or a lot of dex on your gear. So I have that for now. Maybe later on, if I have enough dexterity on my gear, I can drop it. Next thing I do is I come over here, I pick up this health wheel. Gives you a little bit of chaos resist as well. Then I came down here, pick up this extra fire wheel, come down, pick up the reduced mana cost, come down. We're going for this life regen and max life, of course. Then came across here, pick up this. I might put 2 points in there at some point, but right now I'm going for life regen. Come up here, I picked up 4% reduced mana, just because I'm running so many different auras. Sorry, I'm like crazy for some reason. I might throw another point in there later on so I can try and run Purity of Lightning at the same time as everything else and add that to my build as well. But I don't know for sure. And then of course I picked up this, get the extra increase effect. Come down here. After that, I would say after I pick up that, I think I would do this wheel first. Come down here, you can get this life here. Gives you maximum fire resist as well, which is really nice. Then you come down here, pick up this extra that cannot life wheel here with the cannot be leached. Come across here and then pick up these life regen nodes. Now the life regen will be important later on. I'll tell you why. Well, I'll just tell you now. You're gonna be running. I'm gonna be running Righteous Fire at some point with this build, and you need 11.4% life regen. So after I finish that off down here, or no, down here, I would come all the way up here and move across over to Eldritch Battery so you can get the mana. At this point you should have enough HP to be safe without the energy shield, and then this of course getting more mana allows you to run more auras and stuff like that. And then I come down here, pick up these life mana nodes. As I came through here, I went ahead and picked up these flask effects because you're going to be using a ruby flask for magic reflect mobs. To use a granite flask, at least I use a granite flask every time it looks like a melee mob's gonna hit me. So yeah, and then you got your 2 healing flasks. So love that wheel. After that, come down here. Pick up life and mana regen. Down here, some more effect buffs. It works really well, especially because that applies to Purity of Fire, whereas this wheel over here doesn't apply to like Purity, or maybe it does, because is that considered an aura? Yeah, it is an aura. So So all of these two wheels apply. You get extra increased um, resist and stuff. So and you pick up this, you get life regen and mana regen. Down here, some armor and life regen, and max life. Um, Now, one of the things I've been thinking about doing is spending 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points to get to here, and then dumping these 4, because my skill doesn't cost that much mana to begin anyway. So that 10%, I don't know, be 22. So I don't know. And then just dump those 4 points there, and then that, it cleared me up to go somewhere else. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. So, yep. And then after that, you're already here. You can come down here like this, pick up this other increased effects and mana reserve node. And pick that up as well, since you aren't relying on evasion anyways. So yeah, that's what I plan on doing with it. I'll show you my gym setups right now. Currently I just have I honestly, that this is just here, the level doesn't do much. I have Vol Haste. I don't know if I'm actually going to have slot for Vol Haste later on in my build, but we shall find out. Okay, I found this one too not too long ago, or I should say a while ago. What item level is this? Damn. And it's a pretty decent little wand. But my elemental weakness, concentrated effect, I'm leveling up to throw on my righteous fire, and then my Vol Haste aura. I have Geoffrey's Crest, which is +1 to level of gems in this. Gives me armor, evasion, fire, cold, lightning resist, and chaos resist, which is really nice. When I was looking for this, they weren't too expensive, and I just went ahead and picked the one that had the highest chaos resist for the same, at the time when I purchased it. So, and then here are on purity of lightning, purity of fire, vitality, and reduced mana. So all of these are +1 levels. So technically these are all 19. So, and then here's my Rise of the Phoenix. What this does is this allows you to use Righteous Fire, because it gives you 8 maximum fire resist. So you get 8 from this, you get 1 from your tree, and then your Purity of Fire gives you another 3%. So that's 11% just from that. So your normal percentage is 75, so you can get 86. I think I'm at 87. Nope, 84. Hang on. Yeah, 88. So because of the +1. So and in the shield I'm running faster casting, reduced duration, and lightning warp, and all that does is allow you to move around quicker with your lightning warp. Just to show you the difference, faster casting. And take out reduced duration. Reduced duration does a lot more for you. So, the reduced duration gem was really cheap too. I think I picked it up for a chaos. At level 18 is when I purchased it too. So I purchased level 18 Jin. So that's why it's so much further ahead of everything else. Right? But anyways, that's the whole thing. I have, of course, a lightning and a frost resist or cold resist ring. Those are the two resists that I really need right now. Later on, I'm gonna, I really want to run the Purity of Lightning, because I can switch this out for like a DPS ring or something. But right now, it's got a lot of my resists on it. 58 to lightning, 28 to cold. So here's my 5 link. I'm running greater multiple projectiles. I found this 15%. Leveling another character. Running faster projectiles, again I found the 10% while I was doing it. Faster casting, I went ahead and threw 2 GCPs in this just because I was curious to see what happened, and for every 2% quality you gain another percent for cast speed, which is good. So at some point I'm gonna basically when this gem hits level 20, I'm gonna sell it to the vendor with a GCP, which will give me a level 1 faster casting that's 20% quality, and then just re-level it again. I'll probably do that for a lot of my gems. I just have to figure it out which ones I want to do at which time. So of course my 20% Incinerate, I got this on my Ranger, which you guys haven't seen yet, but at some point I will show you that Ranger. And then Spell Echo, which get the 6% for the extra 3% spell damage. So once this hits 20, and then I can sell it with the GCP and get 20%. That'll be really nice to get that 10% increased spell damage. My amulet, I'm basically running this just for the dexterity. I need it so bad, but the spell damage increase is really nice. So my gloves, nothing too special. Fire, cold, chaos, life. Bam. Running clarity, reduced mana, and herald of ice, which that's a 5% quality, but I picked up this 8% quality the other day. It dropped, so I'm leveling this one to catch up to this one. And then 147, 221. Yeah. So when this gets about levels 16, 17, whatever, it should be better than this one. So here's my belt. It's just life with strength, with life regen, energy shield, and the other 2 stats I really don't care about. My boots, I'm using armor energy shield because it's easier to get 4 red sockets than using just a straight up energy shield boots. Plus the armor doesn't exactly hurt. So strength, increased armor, and energy shield, max life, and block stun recovery, and movement speed. Now this is basically running my whole cast when damage taken. So I get hit, it automatically casts Enduring Cry, and then it casts Immortal Call, and that's all connected to an increased duration. So basically what happens is I get hit, it casts Enduring Cry, which gives me so many charges based on however many monsters I'm around me, and then it casts Immortal Call, which takes my endurance charges and makes me invulnerable to physical damage for a certain amount of time based on how many charges, and then that duration is increased. So it's pretty cool. Running Eternal Life Flask of Heat, it's increased amount of recovery, reduced recovery speed, dispels frozen and shield. Running a Saturated Eternal Life Flask of Staunching, so again it's 50% increased amount recovered, 33% reduced recovery speed, and removes bleeding. Then I have my Ample Flask of Adrenaline, so I get extra charges, so it gives me a third use on this one flask, with a 23% increased movement speed during a flask effect, so I get a 63% increased movement speed while popping that flask. Avengers Granite Flask of Iron Skin. Get 94% increased armor during flask effect. Uh, plus the 3,000 armor just from the regular Granite Flask. And then I get 3 charges added to this flask every time I take a critical strike. And since I'm, just a witch, I kind of get crit. So, and then of course I'm running a perpetual ruby flask of warding. This flask gives me 10 to maximum fire resist, 50 to fire resist, 29% increased charge recovery, and immunity to curses. So there you go. If you have any other questions, specifically about this build, feel free to ask away. I will say that for the most part, this build is off the top of my head. I picked up that 20% Incinerate. I picked up the GMP and the faster casting, and I was like, alright, I'm going to make an Incinerate Witch with GMP and faster casting. So that was my whole plan while building this. And then I started looking around because I was looking for something to complement the build, because basically this is what you're doing. There's really no need to do anything else. Here, let's put all our auras up for you. Like, there's no need to have any other active skills, because this right here is really good single target and AoE. The reason it's great single target is because it's shotguns. So, like, say this map device is the enemy. See, if I stand back here, it gets hit by maybe 2, maybe 3. If I stand right next to it, it gets hit by every single stream. So it increases the damage on single target if you're right next to it. And then it's just really good wave clear, because, I mean, look how much freaking room that takes up on the screen. And then with my build, I've got a rank. What is it? 17 clarity. I get 21.1 mana per second, plus the mana regen from my tree, and well, here let's find out. Where does that show? I don't know if it actually shows. Oh, yeah, mana regen per second is 171, while my mana cost is 20 per casted spell. Now, with Spell Echo, every time I click once, it casts twice. So, I don't know. But yeah, so I was like, well, how can I augment this build? And then as I was flipping through YouTube, I was kind of researching Incinerate a little bit and seeing what other people did with it. I came across, I think his name is Rise QT or something like that, and he has a Marauder build that what it does is it throws Righteous Fire into the mix as well. So basically you have Righteous Fire, which does burning damage to anybody inside there, hooked up with increased area of effect, and it's increased area of effect and concentrated effect. So you increase 31% increased area of effect radius, and then you hook it up with concentrated effect, and you get more damage with reduced area of effect radius. So it kind of counteracts the concentrated effect by having the increased area of effect. But what that does is it allows you to do even more single target damage while you're standing next to, like, say, a boss or something, which is kind of the weaker point of this build. But I think it augments the build really well. Jingo show off something really fast. So I was just going to show you really fast how farming or whatever works on this character. It's really complicated. It's very hard. I don't know. It takes a lot of learning, and a lot of practice to get this down right. So I figure I'll show you guys just how I do it, and maybe you guys can figure it out quick. So yeah, of course I'll kind of be a smartass right now because basically this is the only skill I have on my hotbar. So you're only going to be using Incinerate.
God bless you
So
on this fine day, Exile.
though I'll do this Elron mission for you guys and just show you how amazing this build is for him. Right? See, so the option is you have to defend the relic, and you have to feed souls to the relic, which means they have to die within the big yellow circle. So.
It's also them.
Sweet. Makes farming the makes farming that master very very easy. So yeah, I mean this is just how the build works out. You just walk around right clicking stuff. It's not as very hands-on build. It's not very difficult. I suppose, if you come across a reflect mob, you're gonna have to pop um, your ruby flask and then like a health flask, but it's really not that hard at all. So, pick up anything else? Go. Chromatic. So, slaughter knife and right. So there you go. Like I said, if you have any questions, just ask it below. I got to thinking. I said I would probably post one of those Let's Play Dragon Age videos a week. I think what I want to do is, just because the story is to me so good, and like I would be rather pissed off if I had to wait once a week to watch it, an episode of it. If since I like the story and I would get into it so much watching it, I'm thinking what I will do is maybe do. As long as I can keep up with the game well enough, which I should be able to. I've already recorded 4 or 5 episodes. I'm only posted one. What I'm thinking about doing is, oh wait, I want that. The +2 to level gives me alchemy shards. What I'll do is I'll probably post one of those Let's Play Dragon Age videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then Monday, Wednesday, Friday, just do a Path of Exile video, whether it's a specific map like what I posted earlier with that unique map, or if it's like this one where I'm showing off a specific character and its build, or if it's like an update on my drinking build character or something, or I kind of want to start practicing for the races. I really enjoyed doing those for a while, but I haven't done a racing for so long that I want to start practicing for it. So I was thinking about doing a series where I give myself, I have a half hour, right? So the video will start, I'll create whatever. I'll create the character, we'll go into it, and I'll play for 30 minutes. And as soon as the 30-minute timer goes off, what I'll do is I'll teleport back to town, sell all my shit, delete the character. And then what we'll do is, like, next week we'll do another practice session or whatever, and see if I can improve my times or something like that, and get to the point where when the races start coming back out, I feel comfortable doing it again. Because right now I wouldn't feel comfortable doing a race. So, all right, so I'm gonna thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you guys like the build, or even if you don't like the build, tell me why or why not in the comments. And if you have any questions, make sure you ask down there. Also, I was thinking of if any of you guys have an idea for a build and you want to see if it would work or not, leave an idea in the comments, and I'll try throwing something together and seeing if I can get it to work or not. I thought that would be kind of fun. It'd be kind of like the user submitted videos on my World of Tanks stuff. So like if you submit a build, and if I like it enough, I'll try and build it, and then the whole goal will be to make it through Merciless Dominus. Or not Dominus, because he's kind of a bitch. But we'll do Merciless Piety. If we can make it through Merciless Piety with the build, then I will consider it a successful enough build, and maybe take it on the mapping if I like it. If we can't make it through Merciless Piety, then we'll decide that the build isn't that good. And I'm talking, come up with something crazy, man. Like, just whatever you think might work, and we'll see what we can do with it. All right. So I've been trying to like finish this episode for a while, so before I think of anything else, let's go ahead and end it now. I will see you guys later, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. Chaos Potato, here's your build video.